16 gigs is all you need. One of the things I've learned being a nightclub photographer is that risk mitigation is absolutely crucial in everything you do. Yes, you're going to be in a very volatile, exciting, energetic environment, but you have to mitigate the risk. Now, if you turn up to a nightclub and you take photos, they all get stored onto an SD card. Now, probability is most people that are operating as nightclub photographers will get to the point where they start to shoot multiple nights and evening, because that's how you generate money, because otherwise there isn't enough money in it to make a living. So if you are doing it to make a living, you probably have to shoot 2 or 3 venues a night to be able to generate good money, because the other factor you have to bear in mind is nightclubs tend to be open on Fridays and Saturdays. So it limits your ability to earn money, basically. So you tend to cram as much in as you possibly can on those 2 days. Also bank holidays and sort of all those seasonal holiday events, there's other points you can generate income. Because of this, one of the things I've learned is basically a 16 gig SD card is the maximum capacity you need to be able to operate efficiently. Now, you might be thinking 16 gig is nowhere near enough data. It's all about mitigating risk. So basically, I would always use a 16 gig card, and all the cards I use are 16 gig. I never go over that. Now, the reason being is I know how many images I can take. Now, with the A7R2, I can get close to sort of 200, maybe 220 odd images at full resolution comfortably. I know I can store that many images. Now, sometimes it can go up to 3 depending on what lens I'm using, because sometimes it crops down if you're using a 3/3 lens. So I say anything from 2 to 300. Now, for me, the value in what I used to do as a nightclub photographer is the images. It's not me turning up and smoozing people and being all cool, all that sort of stuff. It's the images. So if I leave and can't deliver the images, there's no value in me attending. And that's the way you have to see it. So what I would do basically is I would shoot on a 16 gig card. When that card reaches near capacity, not full, I would basically take that card out and replace it. That is all about saving the data you've put from the shot. Now, if you use like a bigger card, the probability is you will store more data on it because it's convenient to do so. Humans are all about convenience. If you can store more data and it takes away a step in the process, of course you're going to do it. So if you do a 32 gig or you do a 64 or you do 128, you're going to ram that full of data. Now, if you have an issue with that SD card from multiple nights, that night is totally worthless. So you have to think about like, okay, I don't want to put myself in a situation where I'm going to lose 1 or 2 of these jobs or an hour of work, so to speak. So that's why I always go to a 16 gig card. Now, this is just my advice, and this is something that I put in place to protect myself, because SD cards have failed me on multiple occasions. So it's all about, okay, I want to protect myself. The images are the most valuable assets here. So everything would go to 16. Once I'm finished shooting and I go home, I would then work off those cards. And if anything happened to any of those cards, I would only lose a portion of the night or one of those jobs. So I could still make a living. So you're not leaving the house earning no money. So that's why I would suggest for nightclub photography, 16 gig is all you need. Yes, you might spend more money buying multiple 16 gig cards as opposed to one bigger card. But what you will do is protect yourself. If that bigger card screws up, you won't lose work. So kind of swings and roundabouts. It'd be really interesting to see what you think of this idea. Like, if you've got any thoughts on it, if you disagree with it, pop it in the comments and let's start a conversation, because I'd be really interested to know what you guys think and also the advice that the community can give to other nightclub photographers. So yeah, thanks for watching. Again, if you want to hit me up on some of my socials, feel free to find me on Facebook, Luke Curtis Photographer, Instagram, lukecurtis.co.uk, and until next time guys, take care, bye bye.